All right, perfect. So we are live and we are recording. So like I mentioned, today we are going to go through smart plans. So just either by a raise of hands or you can type in the chat if you'd like to. Has anybody actually used a smart plan before? Just by either a raise of hands if you're on the screen. Okay, so some of you have, and then we'll see maybe what comes up in the chat. Some of you haven't, that's why you're here. Okay, perfect. So a lot of you have, great. Okay, love that, thank you. So first, what I'd like to kind of talk about is smart plans and how those come into play really in the MREA model. So give me 1 second and I'm just going to pull up something really quickly to show you guys just some best practices for that. So I'm going to share my screen. And then we're just going to take a look at, this is an example of the lead generation model from the MREA book. So if you were on the call last week, we talked about contacts last week, and we talked about best practices for contacts, how to best use contacts, how to manage contacts. We went through all of those different things. So you'll see that we've got that prospecting and marketing up here at the top. Then it goes into those contacts that are either leads that have maybe come in or contacts that we've entered. So again, we're thinking of leads as haven't met, meaning that we haven't maybe met them yet. We haven't had that two-way conversation. Perhaps they've come in from a Facebook ad or some sort of lead. And then we're thinking of contacts as your mets. So those are the people that know you, they like you, they trust you, and they're willing to do business with you. Now, once we've got the leads and the contacts in the database, then we want to work on connecting with them and cultivating with them. And that is where smart plans really come into play, which is what we're going to talk about today. And then after we're connecting with them, we cultivate them, then we're moving them into either an appointment phase, an active buyer or seller, under contract, or a closed phase for that. So again, contacts would have to come first. We'd have to have contacts entered into command. Then based off of those contacts that we have, we can then go in and we can really focus on adding them to the smart plans. So I just want to read something I pulled up just as I was preparing for this class, and I'll make a note of this in the chat for you guys. This is on page 148 in the MREA book. So I just want to read you some statistics, and a lot of you might already be familiar with this, but it says our research shows that what all this activity will do for your database is. So we're talking about activities and conversations and reaching out to people. For every 12 people in your Met contact database to which you market yourself 33 times, so a 33 touch, you can reasonably expect to net 2 sales. Now, we know that Gary Keller and Jay Papasan are working on rewriting or adding some of the MREA version 2. The numbers have changed just a little bit on this. So if you're taking notes, just make sure that you write this down. Statistically, what we see now is it's actually changed to every 10 people. So it's moved from 12 to 10. So for every 10 people in your Met contact database to which you market yourself, and it's no longer 33, it's now 36. So that you're marketing yourself to them 36 times, you can reasonably expect to net 2 sales. Now, here's where those 2 sales come from. One of those sales will likely be a repeat business, meaning if Brittany is in my database, I sold her a house 10 years ago, she's going to use me again because I've done such a great job of staying in touch with her and staying in front of her that she's going to use me again. So that's where one of those is going to come from. The second one is potentially going to come from someone that Brittany refers me to because she says, oh my gosh, my real estate agent, Sydney, is just so amazing. And oh, you are thinking of selling, you've definitely got to speak to her, right? So it's one directly from those people that I'm engaging with and one that they are potentially referring them. Marketing to your Met contact database is generally the most cost-effective form of lead generation. In terms of reaching annual production goals and using a conversion ratio of 12 to 2, which will continue that conversion ratio for this. If you wanted to make 50 sales a year, so if you wanted to close 50 transactions in a year, you'd need to have 300 people in your Met database who you had sent through your 8x8 program. So remember, an 8x8 is what really cements that mind share. And then they were in your 33, now a 36 touch program. That represents a lot of time and effort, no question about it. However, this database in your relationship is the heart of your business. My question to you is, if you aren't doing this, then what researched and historically proven lead generation strategy are you following? So I think it's important that we speak to that, to number one, not only look at the numbers and look at the metrics, but number two, understand that, again, we're just going back to the fact that Command was really built around not only the MREA, but specifically the lead generation model for smart plans that we're talking about today. So again, I posted that in chat, but it is page 148 in the MREA book. If you just wanted to make a note, kind of look at that and start to look at your numbers for that. So what I'd like to do today with all of you is I'd love to actually make this interactive and make this like a workshop. So we can use the chat, or you can unmute yourself. Whatever you're comfortable doing is completely fine with me. But what we're actually going to create a custom smart plan. So we've got some really great smart plans that you can pick from. You've got some smart plan libraries, but we're going to think about a custom smart plan. So I want you to imagine that maybe we had a closing with someone today. And so we know that they might not want to call us tomorrow and say, hey, we want to buy another house. I don't know that that's always going to happen. But if we had a closing with someone today, how would we want to interact with them, and what items of value or what things or what types of communication would we want to then have with those people over the next 12 months or so? So essentially what I'm asking you is, if you were designing your own 36 touch over the next 12 months, what are some things that you might want to have in there? So I'll give you guys a moment if you want to type in the chat, maybe some suggestions. So how would you like to interact and engage with your Mets over the next 12 months? What are some things that we would want to send to them? So you guys either unmute yourself and say it, or type in the chat, whatever you're comfortable doing. Okay, so Brenda has got some great ones. So congratulations, a thank you, maybe a home anniversary that they've purchased a house. Okay, great. Reagan, I hope that's how you say it. We're saying a birthday. So we want to let them know happy birthday when it's their birthday. Fantastic. What else? What else would we maybe want to send them or remind ourselves to do to them? So essentially, what types of interactions do we want to have with them? Thank you. Who do you know? Okay, so a housewarming hosting opportunity. I love that, Brenda. So maybe who do you know, maybe asking for referrals. We might do something like that. Yep, a market update. That's a big one, right? So we want to make sure we have that market update of what's going on, because they potentially just purchased a house. So they want to know now what's happening on that largest investment of that. A thank you, referrals. We might want a birthday. I'm just making some notes. So we're going to actually build this out together, you guys. And then we want a home anniversary. Market update. What else? Anything else you guys can think of? A neighborhood event. Okay. So we might want to have some sort of neighborhood event. Do you think over the course of the year, do we want to make any phone calls to them? Do we want to have any conversations with them? Yeah. Okay. So we might want to, we'll just write phone calls down here that we're going to make. Care calls, love that. Family members' birthdays, reminder of taxes, HOA dues. Okay, so just some reminders. Okay, so maybe we want a home warranty. Just a reminder maybe about them. Okay, family members, I got that. Okay, anything else you guys want to add, or anything else we might want to communicate with them? Check your furnace. Yeah, just like some home reminders, kind of stuff like that. Okay, great. Anything else, you guys? Going once, going twice. We're going to build this smart plan together. All right. I think that's really good to start with, and we'll kind of get the hang of it together, and then we'll move on from there. So let me just share my screen. Holidays. Love that, Brenda. So let me, I'm just going to share my screen real quick and give me 1 second because I just want to move the chat around so that if you guys are dropping anything in chat, I can just make sure that I do see that. So let me just move this over. All right, and then if you guys can just let me know, is everybody able to see my command screen here? Are you able to see my welcome home? Okay, great. Thanks just for confirming that. Perfect. Thank you so much. So we are going to talk about smart plans, which I know a lot of you have used before. Some of you have not. So I'm really excited for you to be here to get to know that. So let's talk about what a smart plan is first for some of you that haven't used it. So a smart plan can essentially be that 36 touch that we just talked about in the MREA book. It can be reminders. It can be a blend of tasks, emails, reminders to make phone calls. It can be automatic text or reminders for text, just depending on how you set that up. So we can go in and we can completely customize this as much as we would like. So when we go into command, remember that anything that you can do in command, any of the applets in command are going to be down the left-hand side of the screen. So as a reminder, we can always click on that red box up here at the top left, and that's going to allow us to essentially kind of open up that menu of everything that is in command. And you'll see that it's about the fourth one down. It looks like a little bit of a to-do list with a gear shift right next to it. That's your smart plans. So again, I can't stress this enough. Everything starts with a contact in command. So we're going to say in this instance that we would have already added some contacts into command, and now we're ready to add them to a smart plan. So the contacts have to be there in command first for us to be able to then utilize a smart plan for them. So we are going to just scroll down just a little bit until we get to that smart plans, and we're going to click right on smart plans. And I am going to show you how you can go in and you can search for smart plans that we have that are existing smart plans in the library. What we're going to spend the bulk amount of time going through today is creating your own custom smart plan, because I do want to show you how easy it is for you to do that. And then it's kind of like the set it and forget it of reminding you and of communication with people. So you'll see that once we come into your smart plans, any smart plans that you already have running will be shown right here. So if you already have clients or anybody on smart plans or smart plans that you've created, you'll see all of those listed right here. Now, as a reminder, we also have this very, very robust library that you can go to. There's about 4,500 smart plans right now that you can pick from. So while we are going to take the time today and we are going to create a custom smart plan, because I want you to understand how you can do that, I do think it's very important to understand that you've got some fantastic smart plans here that you could just pick and choose and customize as much as you would like as well. So you never have to start from scratch. I just know that a lot of people like to see what you do have available, which is what we'll go through today. So at the top of the page, you've got the Keller Williams smart plans. So these are smart plans that were created by Keller Williams for you to use. In the middle, you've got these top rated smart plans. So these are smart plans that were created by Keller Williams Associates or leadership or people just within the company. And they are essentially saying, I'm going to publish this smart plan to the library and it's yours to use and customize as much as you would like. So that's why I love smart plans for a lot of reasons. But one of the big reasons being that smart plans to me just shows such a true testament to our company of coming from contribution and coming from collaboration and saying, hey, here's my smart plan. I love it. I want you to use it. I hope it works really well for you. So we can come through, we can look at the top rated smart plans. I always encourage you to take a look. If we were going to go out and eat dinner somewhere, we would probably look on Yelp or somewhere if we were in a new city, and we would look at what are other reviewers saying about it and how many stars does it have and how many people are eating there. So if you're willing to do that just for one meal in your lifetime, let's make sure we're willing to do that for our follow-up for our business, which is our true bread and butter. So we want to make sure that we're looking at how many people are using it, because that means that it probably is having a great success rate, and how many stars are there. So of the people that are using it, how many have given them 4 stars, 5 stars, whatever that might be. Now, if we wanted to use any of these smart plans, all we would have to do is click Add Smart Plan, and you'll see the full description will be shown up here. We could add that smart plan, and then it would add that smart plan to our library. From that point, we would be able to customize it, and we would be able to add anybody that we wanted to that smart plan. You've also got this final section down here, which is what's new. So these are going to be the newest smart plans. So you'll see like a handful of these were even published today. So these are going to be the newest ones that are up there. So note that you might not have as many agents using this yet, and the 5-star ratings, that's okay. They just have gotten on here now. So you can take a look at that. And then as a reminder, we can always come up to the top of the page. We've got a way that we can filter smart plans up here. We can also search, and we can search by the smart plan name, the author name, or the description. So if you knew that you really wanted a smart plan, you really want to get back into doing open houses, and you want a smart plan for a follow-up to open house, we could come in and we could search for that, and then we could add that smart plan to our library and be able to use it moving forward for that. So I'm just going to pause there for a second just to see if there are any questions on just how to add a smart plan that's an existing smart plan to your library so that you can use it. Do I have any questions from anyone on that? Looks like chat is good. Okay, we're good. Moving on. So we're going to create that custom smart plan now based off of everything that you all mentioned that we might want to do to follow up with that. So we are going to create a custom smart plan once we come into the smart plan library. And again, we're just going to go to the My Smart Plan section again. And you'll see that once I'm in the My Smart Plan section, I have this box up here at the top right that allows me to create a smart plan. So I'm going to choose create. And then I do have to give the plan a name, and it must be a unique name. Now, when I'm adding contacts to the smart plan, it's important that I'm actually naming the smart plan what the smart plan is. Because as I want to add contacts to it, you'll see that eventually I'll just have a list of smart plans that I have. So I want to know truly which one do I want to add them to, because it is worth noting that a contact can be on multiple smart plans. So we just want to make sure that we're not going in and adding hundreds of smart plans just to have them. We might want to have more specific smart plans and be able to really see who is on what smart plan and just make sure we're managing that properly. So I am going to call this smart plan. We will just call this. And if you guys are following along, you can actually create it yourself. I'm going to move at a very, very slow pace so that we all have time to actually create one together if you would like, or like I said, we are recording this. So if you want to come back later, feel free to do that as well. So I'm just going to call this Carolina's smart plan because we're creating it all together. And then I'm going to choose apply down here. And then you'll see it's going to take me to this screen that kind of looks like a blank screen right there. And that will load, and then I'll be able to go in and to add my steps to the smart plan. Now, what I find sometimes it's a little bit easier to build a smart plan if we kind of know the intention of how we're using this. So maybe this is a smart plan that we want to add people that we've had some sort of transaction with. And what I mean by that is maybe they were a previous buyer or seller and they decided to use us for their services. I don't even want to say that it had to be something that closed today. Maybe they've used you in the years that you've been in real estate. Because some of the pieces that we might want to do in here is we might want to ask for referrals or testimonials or whatever it might be. So again, we're going to come in here, we're going to create that custom smart plan. We're going to give that smart plan a name. And so the first thing that we want to do is I like that we have the ability to add them to an existing smart plan within a current smart plan. So bear with me. What I mean by that is we created this custom smart plan. And a lot of you said that some of the things that we might want to have in here are market updates. So does anybody want to guess? You can either type it in chat or you can unmute yourself. Is anybody familiar with a smart plan that Keller Williams has created for you that actually sends a market update either twice a month or once a month? Is anybody familiar with that? And if so, do you know which one it is?
The neighborhood nurturers.
Yes, perfect. Yeah, Jen. So the monthly neighborhood nurture or the bi-weekly, right? And so depending on whatever neighborhood we've added for them, they're going to receive that approximately every 30 days or sometimes twice a month. So honestly, if we wanted to do the bi-weekly neighborhood nurture, that would be 24 touches right there. Now I'm just going to do the monthly one because we're going to add some additional touches, but that right there is 12 in and of itself. So again, I'm going to add them to this smart plan. And then over here, I've got all of the steps that I can add them to. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to click add to smart plan. And then I'm going to choose what smart plan I want to add them to. So I'll have a drop down right here and it'll have all of my smart plans listed right here. You can see I have a lot of fake and demo ones myself. Yours will not look like this. And so I am going to choose my monthly neighborhood nurture. So that means that if I were to take Jen and add her to this smart plan today, it would start today, and today she would get the monthly neighborhood nurture smart plan. So I've added that step. I'm a big fan of saving each step as you continue on because sometimes internet is a bit glitchy. So we've added that step. For us to save that step, we're just going to hit the little checkbox right here with the circle with the check mark in it. And then we've added that step and we've now saved it. So I've got my list here. So I'm going to say we are checking this off. So we've done the market update. We've added that. After the market update goes, I just want to wait a little bit of time. I don't want to bombard them, right? So I'm going to set a delay. So I'm going to click set delay. And I might set a delay of, I know they're going to get something every 30 days from me. So I'm kind of going to split the difference right there. And I'm going to say this is going to be due in 15 days. So I'm going to set a delay now of 15 days. And I'm going to choose save. Now, something a lot of you mentioned that you might want to add is almost a thank you of them doing business with you, maybe recently or maybe in the past, and maybe also ask for some referrals in that same time. So for that, we're going to actually send an email. So again, I've added them to the monthly neighborhood nurture so far. We're setting the delay of 15 days. Then I want an automatic email to go out. So I'm going to choose send email over here. So again, over here on the right, we will see send email. And then you'll see you're going to have this reply to email. So smart plans are sent using your command email. All of you get up to 5,000 emails a month for free. If at any point you need to subscribe and have more, you can do that for a very, very low fee. And you can do that through the KW Marketplace. So what this means is as they reply to this email, this is the email address that it's going to come to. If that is indeed not correct, you can go into your settings and you can change that at any time. And then the subject is essentially what's the email subject going to be when it comes across to them. So I'm going to say that the subject for this is going to be thank you for your business. How can I help you? So we're going to make that the subject. And then down here, I've got two different ways that I can send emails. One is a simple email, which is what we have here already, where I can just come in and I can text whatever I would like at any time. I can add links in there. I can do whatever I would like. I also have these email designs. So if I click on designs, then I have the ability to select an email design. So you've got 72 different templates that Keller Williams has created for you that you can come in and choose from. So I might want to find one that is like asking for referrals. So let me just come down here. I've got some open house ones just listed. I don't want any of those. I've got buy versus rent. So if you have maybe like a first-time home buyer, and then here we go. Perfect. Classic request for referral. So I'm going to choose that one. Now, if I wanted to take a look at it, it would open in the next page for me and I'd be able to see everything for that. So it says, for the love of real estate and relationships, it's going to have your Market Center logo up here. I got into this business for two reasons. One, I genuinely love houses. And two, nothing makes me happier than helping people buy and sell them. It brings me great joy to assist you with your property needs. And I would be honored if you would help me do the same for your friends and family. So then it has my contact information if you know of anybody looking to buy or sell. Now, if I didn't like some of this wording or I wanted to change that, I can do that very easily by clicking on the text box.
Yeah, I'm listening to
and then you'll see that I have a little pencil right here that allows me to edit all of the text that's in there if I don't like it. So I can make any changes here. I'm going to say I'm fine with what's there and then hit done. If I don't love all of this down here, I can do the same thing. Now, this is going to be your contact information, so I wouldn't get rid of that. But let's say we wanted to get rid of some of this. I can do the same thing and hit the trash bin right there, and it would completely delete that. But if I'm like, nope, I love this. I love the way this asks for a referral. I'm just going to hit save right here. and then I'm going to hit save and exit. I just like to do that double save. And then you'll see that I have that right there. So again, so far we've set them up on the monthly neighborhood nurture. We've sent some sort of thank you as well as asking for referrals. We've done some sort of time frame in there. So the next thing I might want to do is I want to make sure that I'm calling them 4 times a year. So we started off this session talking about the MREA book and how smart plans really feed into that. When we're talking about the 36 touch, 4 of those touches must be phone calls. That is what really cements that relationship. So let's just make this super easy. We sent that email. Now I'm going to wait. I'm going to hit save real quick for that. I'm going to create another delay. So I'm just going to choose set delay. And this time I'm going to maybe set this delay of 10 days. So we set that additional delay. And then this time I'm going to come in and I'm going to add them to another smart plan. So I'm going to choose add to smart plan. And then this time in that drop down, this time I'm going to choose my quarterly call smart plan. I can search at the top of the page as well, but I'm just going to choose this one, my quarterly call smart plan, and hit save. So now we've done that where we've got the 4 phone calls. We said we wanted that. I also said that I wanted to make sure that I may be reaching out to them about a neighborhood event or something like that. I don't necessarily know what that neighborhood event is going to be yet. So I might want to create a task where I'm going to send some sort of email, or I might send some sort of like, don't forget to do this, right? So let's just see in designs what sort of emails we have. So we'll set another delay because again, we never want these to be back to back. And I might actually come in, I might set this as like a 30-day delay because I want some time in between this because again, I just don't want to bombard them with everything all at once here. So let's get that up. We'll do 30 days for that, 29 days, perfect, or 30 days, we got it there, great. So then we're gonna come in and we're going to send maybe another email. So we'll choose send an email. And then the subject might be, we'll come back to the subject. Let's see what we're going to do in designs first. So we'll come in to select design. And we'll go to these KWRI templates. Again, we've got like if refinancing, anything like that, protect your credit, low budget projects, healthy home. So let's do that. Or maybe chill your bills because it's about to be summertime. So we want to talk about that. So we'll use this where we're talking about like fans, stick to a schedule, seal and save, but all of this is completely customizable. So if you have 3 different AC companies that you want to use and you want to pop their information in here, if and when they need it, we can do all of that right here. So we can completely come in and customize that, but we're going to say we really like what's here. We're going to save and exit. We're going to come out of that. And so now we've sent that email. So then we're going to come in, we're going to set, I'm just going to mute someone. There we go. We're going to set another delay. And this time we're going to set a delay. Maybe we'll do like 20 something days here, just so again, it's not back to back. We'll do save. Now I have Twilio. Oops, I got to do a subject here. Best tips to stay cool. So I have Twilio, which means that if I choose to send text, they're going to automatically go out. You can set up Twilio in the KW marketplace and you'll be able to see how you can basically purchase credits for that. So maybe I wanted to wait some time and then I want to send them a text. So I'm going to send a text. I'm just going to click on that. And then you'll see my Twilio account is connected. So it will allow me to send a text. And so I might say, hey, it's So I'm going to send them a text and I'm going to encourage them to download my app. So it says, hey, it's Sydney Seymour with KW. You could put your market center there. Just wanted to check in and ask you a favor. I know you love technology. I don't know that they love technology, but basically everybody does right now. Would you do me a favor and take a look at this app and let me know what you think? It's going to be my app. Check out the house in your neighborhood for sale. Can you believe the price? I don't know what home is for sale in their neighborhood. I don't know the price, but it's probably going to be something crazy based off of what we are seeing in the market. And so then I've even got my KW app link where that's a mail merge field right over here. So it's going to take my link to my consumer app. It's going to drop it right there in the text. They'll be able to click on it, open up my app right there. So this text is automatically going to go out. So I'm going to hit save right there. Now you'll see we're 76 days in and things are just going to continue to repeat and recycle for all of that. So we're going to add a couple more steps, but I think you guys are kind of understanding or getting the gist of how we can come in and then completely customize this. So now maybe I want to set another delay. I'm going to set this delay. I'm going to do it a little bit shorter. I'm actually going to do it for about 11 days. And then I'm going to create a task. So I'm going to click right up here. I'm going to choose create task. And the task is I just want to call them. So I'm going to say call, and then I can even use those merge fields again and say call contact first name and call contact last name. So when it comes up as a task, it shows me right there who I need to call. And so I'm going to say call in the description again, and I might even say contact first name and contact last name again, just so that when it shows up, I see that. And I'm going to say in the task reminder, so here's the task. It's going to come to me and it's going to tell me to call this person. And in the description, it's going to say call and the contact's first name and last name. And then I'm just reminding myself of what I've done. I sent them your consumer app 11 days ago. That's approximate here. Call to check in and see what they think about it. Don't forget to look at their contact record to see what they looked on the app. So remember, once they download the app and create an account and pick you as their agent, you're able to see what properties they're looking at, if they're favoriting them, all of those things. So take a look at that to be armed with that knowledge prior to making the phone call to them and having that conversation with them. So I'm going to hit save on that one. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop in a couple more smart plans that you guys mentioned. So one thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to set another delay. And so I'm going to set this delay maybe for like 7 days. We're going to save that. And then I'm just going to add and drop in some smart plans here. Hang on one second. There we go. So we're just going to continue to add. And so then I can essentially restart that. We can go in and continue to add that smart plan out for it. So this would be essentially like for the quarter, and then I can go back, I can take a look at what I want to do and just continue to do that. So when I look at this, if we look at the numbers here, I added them to my smart plan. So that's going to be my monthly neighborhood nurture. That's going to be 12 touches over the course of the year. Then it's waiting a delay of 15 days. Then it's going to send them this email thanking them for their business. How can I help you? Then it's going to set a delay of 10 days, and then it's going to add them to the quarterly call smart plan. So now we're up to 17 touches. Then we're going to wait 30 days, and then it's going to send another email, and that's going to be best tips to stay cool. So now we're up to additional touch. Then we're going to wait another delay. Then we're going to send a text. Then we're going to wait some other days. Then we're going to make a phone call. I could even come in and I could set less delays, and I could say, okay, so let me make this down to, we'll actually take the delay out. Anytime you want to get rid of a step, you can just delete the step right there. So we're going to remove that step. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to add them to another smart plan. And this time, the smart plan that I'm going to add them to, I believe I have this in my library, is I'm going to come in and I'm going to add them to my home anniversary smart plan. We'll do save. And then I'm going to add to another smart plan, and I want to add them to my birthday smart plan. So if I know their birth date, then I can add them to, here we go, my birthday smart plan. So now they're getting those additional touches. Now the birthday smart plan is actually going to be like 4 or 5 touches because it's a reminder for you to reach out on social media, send a text, do all of these different things. So we can come in here and add all of these steps to be able to consistently communicate with them. So I know we touched on a lot right here. So I'm just going to pause for a second and I'm just checking the chat over here. But do I have any questions or any discussion just around building out a smart plan? We're good. Okay. I'm going to take that as good. So again, once I've added all of these steps, I do recommend that you just kind of continue to save as you're moving forward. So we're going to save that, but then the final save is right up here. So we've got this green box right up here that says save. And then you'll see, oops, hang on, I just have to add. See, I can't do a smart plan back to back. There we go. That was my mistake. So let me set a delay right here. I can push this up anytime that I want to. So it's in between. We'll just add that to 2 days and that should save it. Anytime something's kind of not working right, you'll get that message and you'll know specifically what we need to change right there. So we're just going to hit save and you'll notice I got that really nice green banner confirming that this smart plan has been saved. And I can now add any contacts to this. Now I can add contacts a bunch of different ways and we'll go through that right now to show you. When I'm here in the smart plan builder where I've created it, I can add contacts from here just by clicking on the little box right up here that looks like a little person. And then you'll see I can add them to here. Either I can search by tags. So if I want to come over here and pick tags, I can also search by name. I can sort by different name. I can come in here and select all. I'll just have to continue to select them all and then click add to smart plan. So I will just search for myself right here and then show you, here we go. Now you'll see right here, this app test, it says 0 neighborhoods and it's in red. So does anybody want to guess why that's in red and what the problem might be there?
Maybe no address?
Yeah, Brenda. So there's no address, which we know one of the main components of this smart plan is the monthly neighborhood nurture. So if I don't have an address for them, it doesn't know what neighborhoods to send them. It's going to send them everything else. It's just not going to be able to send them the monthly neighborhood nurture until I have a neighborhood associated, which is generally by an address. So you'll see that kind of flagging you right here as you're adding the contacts. If they do have a neighborhood, you'll even see that this contact under here has 8 neighborhoods associated with them. So they're absolutely going to get the monthly neighborhood nurture, and it's going to have details about all 8 neighborhoods that they're associated with. So just for ease, I will pick that one. And then you'll see I can choose right here where it says add to smart plan. Then I can start now, or I can start on the following date. So here's a secret. Since you're all here, I'll give you my secret sauce for this. I like you to look like you're working really hard and doing everything you can behind the scenes, even if it's easy. And here's what I mean by that. I'm going to use Brenda as an example. So if Brenda and I are having a conversation, or maybe I'm like, okay, I'm going to build out this smart plan and I'm going to add Brenda to my smart plan. I'm going to send Brenda a text, or I'm going to call Brenda and I'm going to say, hey, Brenda, I'm putting some really cool data together. And it's actually really specific to your neighborhood and what homes are listed for and what they're selling for. Would it be cool if I took just a couple of days and I put that together and then I sent that to you? Are you cool with that? She's probably going to say yes, right? I'm going to say, okay, it's probably going to take me a couple of days to pull it together. So I'll definitely have it to you by beginning of next week, maybe even sooner. And I'm going to say start on the following date, or I could even start it now. But what I'm doing is, number one, I'm telling her that I'm going to send her something and then I actually do it. But number two, I'm under promising and over delivering, because I said to her, I might have it to you by next week, but I'm really going to get it to her sooner. But number three, I don't want Brenda to know my secrets and to know that literally it's 2 steps of me adding her to this and then it just flows out there. I want Brenda to think, gosh, she's working really hard for this. And like, I'm not even buying or selling a house from her, right? I want to continue to show my value to that. So we can start now, or we can pick a following date. I'm just going to pick tomorrow. then we can just hit confirm. You'll see that it'll then show you, these are the contacts that you're adding to the smart plan. It'll show you all the smart plan steps you have down here. And then all I'm going to do is hit confirm. And then that contact will have been added very, very easily and very quickly to that smart plan. So we can do that directly on this screen right here, where we can add this, the contact to the smart plan. The other thing that we can do is we can go in and we can bulk add contacts really, really easily. I'm just going to pull up another screen real quick here in Command and just go into your contacts. And you'll see that once your contacts load, so bear with me just 1 second. So remember, when we started this, we spoke a lot about the fact that it all starts with contacts. So we have to have contacts in first to then be able to set up on smart plans. So if I go into my contacts, you'll see that once my contacts load, I have the ability to filter by tags. I can filter by almost anything in contacts. I can even go in and I can pick all of my contacts, so I can choose however many people I'd like to add to a smart plan at once. So I can come in, and once my contacts load, you'll see that as all my contacts load, I have these little check boxes over here to the left of the contacts. So I'll have one individually for each contact, and then I'll have this one main one right up here at the top of the screen. What you'll notice is as I start to check the box next to contacts, I get this option up here that's showing me that I've selected however many contacts. And then directly next to that, I get this bulk action. So if I click right on that, one of the options is to add to smart plan. So I could come in here and say, you know, maybe I have all of my previous buyers or previous sellers, I have them tagged. I could come in, I could filter by that tag. I can pull all of those contacts and say, add all of those to this post-closing smart plan or whatever we want to call it. So I am going to choose add to smart plan. And then all of my smart plans pop up over on the right-hand side. I can choose the smart plan I want to add them to. So I would just choose select on this one. And then we've got the same option. Start all now, start all on the following date, or the third and very, very important one if you are adding multiple people to a smart plan. I highly recommend the third option, which is to stagger the start over the next few days. So if you all remember, one of the smart plans that we added them to in our smart plan was the quarterly call smart plan. So if I add 200 people to the quarterly call smart plan, in 90 days, it's going to tell me I have to call 200 people on one day, which is very difficult. So by staggering the start, the system is really smart, and it says, what's your maximum number of contacts that you're comfortable calling each day? And if you choose this one and have a number of contacts, I've only added 2, so that's where it's going to max out. But if I say, okay, I'm adding 200, I'm comfortable calling 10, it'll take those 200 names and it'll say, today, here's 10 people you need to call. Then tomorrow, here's 10 more people that you need to call. And that will do that. It's kind of has a really nice explanation right here. It will do that until you've hit that 200. And then 90 days from then again, it just recycles and does everything right there. So again, the stagger start, if we're ever doing a quarterly call smart plan, is very, very important. So if we really wanted to add these 2, we would just hit confirm. I don't, because they don't want to hear from me. And then we would add them and we would have them added to the smart plan. Now you'll see that once I go into a contact, so I'm just going to search for myself up here. Once I go into myself as a contact right here, again, when we're looking at the contact record, I'll have smart plans right up here at the top. I can go into a smart plan as well at any time and see anybody that's on it. But if I want to see specifically what smart plans is this contact on, I can click right on that. Oops, I picked the wrong one. Hang on 1 second. There we go. But I can go into that contact record. I can click on smart plans at the top. Once it loads as well, you'll see the number right there. So it'll show me right here, smart plans. and it'll show me those smart plans that I'm on. It'll show me the date that I added them to a smart plan. So I added myself to this one today, the 10th. The date last executed is when did it last send something? Remember, I set it to send tomorrow. So that will be updated tomorrow, and it'll say on the 11th of March is the last time something was sent. And then that will continue to be updated as we send more. If you ever decide you don't want them on that smart plan anymore, I've got a trash can right here where I can unsubscribe them myself at any time and just get them off of that smart plan. All right, so I am going to unshare just so I can see all of you. I was trying to keep a check on chat. I feel like we did okay there, but if you guys have any questions, you feel free to unmute yourself. If there's anything we want to kind of mastermind around that we discussed, any questions or anything.
I don't think I have any questions, Sydney.
Yeah.
For me, it's just getting over overthinking it and actually getting into the doing. And I don't know why today I felt like I had a light bulb, because as I was speaking with someone, I was like, this would be a great smart plan. So it's just the actual doing. I'm glad you went over kind of like the widgets you can add to the smart plan, because those, quite frankly, terrified me before. And I was just like, what does that do? And I didn't really understand kind of what's behind the widget. But now that you've gone over it, I think I'll do some test ones and probably get over my fear or my hesitancy to.
Well, and I think, thank you for saying that. I think that's a valid fear of I'm adding them to this and I don't know what it is and what is it going to say and what, right? I think we need to remember that the marketing is always going to be, number one, coming from contribution. Number two, specific to whoever you're sending it to. And number three, Keller Williams and you yourself are never going to create anything that's like, hey, I got to pay my mortgage, so I need you to sell your house so that I can make that commission, right? We're never going to see that. So it's going to come more from a place of, here's what's happening. Here's home sales. Here's new listings. Here's all of that data and the stuff for that. And then honestly, we don't see this at a high rate. However, I still just like to put it out there. Anybody can unsubscribe at any time. And that will happen automatically, and no touches from that smart plan will continue to be delivered to that person. But I appreciate that, because it is kind of confusing looking at those widgets sometimes and just understanding what they do. So I would definitely encourage you to just create a fake one that runs really quickly, add yourself on it, see how the email comes across, and maybe that'll make you feel more comfortable with it to then add people to that.
I did create a one-step smart plan a week ago.
Oh, nice.
I get a lot of agents that, as a team lead, I get a lot of agents that, new agents that would be agents that says, how do I become a licensee? And literally I was typing this long 5-step email, what you do with, and I was like, stop last week. And I was like, copy paste from the email into the smart plan, and it's there. So kudos.
Love that.
I'm becoming more of a believer and a doer.
Good. I love that. Yeah. Let's add that as leverage. I love that. Thank you. Anyone else, you guys, any questions or clarity or just discussion you want to have around it?
I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my internet keeps going in and out. So I think at the beginning you said you were going to record and share this if you could.
Yes.
Okay. How could we get that recording?
So we're figuring out if we're going to put it on a regional YouTube page or what we're going to do. So what I might have you guys do is actually drop your email in the chat. And then at least I know who was here and I can get it to you specifically for that, just to make sure that you have that. So just put your name or your email address in the chat and I'll stay on and make sure I have that.
Okay, great. And I had one question.
Yeah.
If I want to share a smart plan that I'm developing with one of my partners,
Love it.
And they could edit it, how do I do that?
I love that. Yeah. So any smart plan that you have created yourself, once you've created it, you'll see that you'll have the option. What it's called is to publish to the library. And so by you publishing that to the library, it will be viewable by any Keller Williams associate. So if you just wanted to publish it for the library for your team member or someone to have it, you could publish it, tell them, hey, I published it. They could go into the library, search for it, add the smart plan, and then you can unpublish it at any time, but they would still have access to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. You're welcome. Anybody else, you guys, any questions? Was this helpful? Was this beneficial?
Very helpful,
Yeah,
very
okay.
well articulated into like easy steps.
Okay.
So yeah.
Good, good. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Well, we are done for the day. Thank you guys for your time. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Next week, we'll have another workshop, same time, same place, same Zoom channel. And that will be all about opportunities. So not just transactions, but opportunities with your pipeline, the flow. We'll talk about checklists. We'll talk about client updates, 2 things that I think are really underutilized that will give you time back and also set you up for success for that. So that'll be next Wednesday at 2 p.m. So hopefully you'll be able to make that.
Nice. Thank you,
Thank you
Sydney.
guys. Have a great day. Keep putting
Thank
those
you so
emails
much.
in the chat. I'll make sure that you all get the recording.